So now we have our breakdowns. So now let's move on to the next bit. Let's put in our down pose. So from here, we're going to have our down pose, right? So if you look at it in linear here, or you see this foot coming off the ground, right? That's wrong. This foot can never come off the ground until his cog is firmly positioned over this foot. It needs to be in balance, because if it isn't, you lift that foot off the ground, he's going to fall. You can't lift it off because it's still got weight on it. So if you look at the foot here, it's going to keep going backwards. So if the foot here in linear is going to slide perfectly. Watch this. Speed-wise, that's exactly what it should be doing, which is good because you can use that to gauge where this foot should be. So you could look at incrementally, it should stay the same distance apart from this foot here. So from here to there. So we'll copy this over. So 1, 3. So look at the distance in this foot, how far it goes. So I'm using my finger here. I go to 3, I put my finger there, and then I look at the distance, and then I gauge for this foot. Something like that. Alright, let's see. It's close. And since he's coming down, his legs won't be hyperextending. It's kind of quite a stride there. Might be too much. Might have to bring it back. This foot will be flat. Yeah, I think this might be too much. Let's see. Boom, like that maybe. A little too much. Actually, we'll go from 0 here, and then we'll use the heel roll. Oops. Toe roll. Something like that, maybe. So now it's kind of coming off the ground. Looks like it's still a little bit too much. Maybe like that. Whoops, wrong one. A little too much. There we go. Okay. So then we'll do the same thing on this side. From here down to there. From here down. From there down. So here we'll copy this over there. That foot. And then we'll zero out the ball roll. And we're going to use the toe roll. So in terms of distance, it should be toe roll. It should be flat. Okay. That's not enough there. Oh, we need to bring them down. That's right. So this would be a little bit more. Looks pretty good. So let's go boom, 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 boom. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. So now he's got his squash. He moves into his high point, and then he's gonna come down. Down. There's his high point. Stride, squash, high point, and then yeah, okay. And then we're going to have another key in there. It looks like I might be ahead of myself with the high point, so we might go and redo that. 2. Yeah, so we'll make 5. So select all. We'll take 5. Actually, let's make sure everything's keyed. So S. Everything's keyed. So we're going to take 5 now. And we're going to move that to 7. And then we're going to take 13 and move that to 15. So now this will in between through. We'll put a breakdown in there, and then we go from there to there. So this isn't the actual timing. This is just for now, and we'll add some time and take a little time away as we go through it. Okay, so from here, we have to animate that foot coming off the ground, right? So the foot can't come off the ground until this foot's underneath him. So this foot is still on the ground. So it might not work, so we might have to go and adjust the feet to make sure it works. Boom. Oh, that one, sorry. 1, 2. So for it to continue to do that, to stay on the ground, it needs to keep sliding. That will be out here, which means the stride's too long. So we'll bring it back in. 1, 2, 3. Maybe he's too high up. Bring it back down some. 2, 3. So what I'll do is I go in now, so I'll look at my graph editor, and I'll look at the Z, translate Z. I can see the trajectory from, his, he steps down from here, right there. See that line right there? That's not even. When it's on the ground, it should be pretty linear. Which means either this is moving too slowly or the other one's moving too quickly. Sorry, we got a thunderstorm out here. Florida. This might... Yeah, I think that's a little too... It needs to be about there. And this one needs to be there. 1, 2, 3. See how these kind of come down and then these meet? Whenever you do a cycle, you need to make sure these are set to linear so they look like they're matching exactly. So to make this match, you have to look at the two keys and make sure that they hit at the right spot. So like if I want, like I was saying, that the stride's too long, I can bring this up a little bit like that. And then take this and then match it. Like that. That like that, and now it should work. And then I'll animate that foot peeling off the ground. So here, you have that pose, and then that pose. So I'll need a breakdown between these two and these two. So we'll do the same thing with this foot. We'll adjust the Z. So see how it's kind of like wobbling here? That's not accurate. So take these two guys. These need to be linear, like that. 1, 2, 3. This. That. This might be up like this. This, it's coming off the ground now because it's underneath him. So this will probably still be back here, but will be off the ground. I usually eyeball this. Let's rotate this hip. Something like that. So then I'll look at the key before it, right there, and went boom, boom, like that. It should flow right off the ground, like that. Okay? So now we have the feet peeling off the ground, right there. Boom. So now we'll do the same with the other foot. Coming up here, and then here. This should be underneath him there. So I'll just kind of push a little bit. Because he's walking on a treadmill basically, so you just want to make sure it lines up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That's too much right there. Missing a frame here. 1, 3, 5. See, even I get confused doing this. Okay, so 3 is off the ground. 1, and then the foot comes off the ground. So here, we're taking that foot off the ground. Like that. So boom, boom. His collar will probably be coming up a little bit there. There we go. So now we have the foot kind of contacting, impacting, coming off the ground, coming through, contact, impact, boom. Okay. So then we go in between those keys, and that's where we're going to do things on ones, where we animate the feet contacting, and so it looks really nice and smooth. So now we have our basic walk. I'll finish the arms now. So, and if you see, like, his body's coming down now, and when your body's coming down, that means the shoulders will come up. The arms are trailing behind, so they're not going to come down at the same time. They're going to be up here doing that. 1, 2. And then when they're down here, this is where they transition. So we're probably going to have something like that. The hands are going to switch directions. So we're going to go from 1, 3, 5 to 7. So like that. So as he comes down, the shoulder comes up. Then here it starts to swing down and catch up with that pose there. Then it's, we're going to zip up there. So here, this isn't going to come down. Here, it's going to be finishing this action here. So we'll just copy that over there. Actually, we'll move this here. Move that one here. And then we'll take this one. Put that there. And then we'll in between this. So we'll take this one. And make that one 9. See what I did there? I took the pose between the two, and I made that the pose instead. So the arm's going to come out, swing up, and then it's going to change direction. Comes up there. Then when it's on its way down, this is where we get that. So a little twist in there maybe, get fancy. So it comes up, and then comes down. So we have dragging, and then going through. So now we have some nice overlap going on with the arm. Then we're coming up here, which is going to be the same as back there. And then it's going to go like that. So now we have some nice overlap with the arm. Let's get the other arm working. So here it's at the top of the arc, so actually it's going to be here, right there. So what I said earlier about things are going to change as we go through, well, I'm changing it. Okay, so now the hand here, which is 17, would actually be 16. So we'll take 16, make that 17. And we'll take 17 and make that 1, since it's the same thing. 1 and 17 are the same. Alright, so we're going to go 15, 17, which is 1, and then 3. So of course, actually this isn't dragging the way I want it to. So I'm going to drag that hand like that. From here to there. Now I want this out here more. These guys got to stay the same. Oh, so it's going to come up to this, and this is going to be that, and then we're going to come down, so the hand's going to come up, transition, and then turn around, and it's going to change angle. So let's look at it from the front. So it's going like, it's coming around. Let's see, from 9. So it comes through, which is pretty good, but it looks too linear to me. So from here to there, it feels a little bit rinky-dinky, so we'll do that. We'll move it out some. So it's going to go from here, out, and then in. So that means this hand is going to be, that wrist feels broken, which means it should be out here a little bit more. Maybe something like that. So up, and then it's going to come down. And it's reversing, so it's going to be dragging this way. So we're getting crazy with these arms. 1, 2, which means this guy is going to be out here some. And dragging up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going up and then turning as it comes down. So now we're getting some nice overlap on that. So, okay, so now as the arm comes up here, the high point from the back here, I think we need to break that down some. We might need to delay it too. So it comes back and then hits that wall. See how it kind of comes up and reverses? We don't want that. We want that shoulder dragging because his body's coming down, which means his shoulder's going to go up, and his arm's going to do the same thing. His arm's going to continue to go up as the body starts to come down. It's still going to be dragging. So that, boom, boom. Let's look at it from the back. See how it swings around. It comes around way too linearly because it's going right into his leg here. So here, it should be probably more like this. Something like that. Same here. This might be like that. Grab that whole vector, do something. We'll lead with the elbow. Lead with the elbow. That. Boom, boom. And then as it comes around, his elbow will swing out, and you'll kind of lead with that elbow and that wrist. Boom. So now we're getting some really nice movement on those arms. So now we have some nice drag on those arms. See, now it looks like he's walking, right? This hand looks like timing-wise, maybe it's too fast. So let's do a test. I'll save this. All this. I'll put walk. Save. and then I'll start the next video with the play blast.